Bonjour tout le monde. Okay, here's what you need. You need to get out your dossier and find this page right here that says grammar, right here, that says grammar practice. Elsa's with me. Hi. Oh, that's
Oh
not
no.
very good. That's okay. Okay, so grammar practice. Today you're going to learn the difference between tu and vous. And you're probably thinking, Madame, we already know this. Tu is for one person and vous is for a whole bunch of people. And that is true. But now I need to expand your knowledge. We're going to have some brain growth today. So there's another thing that we need to know about tu and vous. And in French, they're very much into high amounts of la politesse, which is being polite, and respect. And when they're speaking, they'll use a tu form also for someone who's very familiar to you, and they'll use a vous form for someone who is not familiar or a high level of respect. And that even can be for just one person. Okay, so let's kind of dive in a little bit more about this. So tu and vous. So here, well, I'm going to bring this down to like 12. You would use, we know that we use tu for one person, and that is always true no matter what. But you would also use tu when we're talking about, for example, a friend. Okay, so anytime you're talking to a friend, you would always use tu with them. Okay, unless it's a whole group of friends. If you have a group of friends and you want to talk to them, you would say, "Hey, you guys, do you all want to go to the movies with me?" Then you would say vous because there's a lot of them. But if it's just one, we say tu. Another example would be someone that maybe is not a friend, but they are your own age, like a classmate that's not a friend, but they're still your classmate. You can say tu to them, like tu aimes le français, and they would say oui, j'adore le français. You could also use tu with a close relative. So make sure you're writing all these down right now. So like your mom, your dad, maybe your aunt or uncle live by you, or your cousins. If you're talking to one person, you can use tu with them. You would also use this with somebody younger than you. So like a child. Even if you don't know them, if you're talking to one child, you would say tu. Oh, tu es mignon. You're so cute. To like a little baby. Okay? You would also use tu when you're talking to a pet or an animal. So if you have a little dog or a cat or a big dog or a big cat and you want to say, "Oh, are you hungry? Tu as faim? Tu veux manger?" You would say tu to your pet. Okay? Now, we got that down. What we need to know now is that vous, while it, yes, is used to talk about a whole group of people, like, hey, you guys, or you all, it's also used for one person when those people are like this. So number one, if you are talking to just an acquaintance or someone you don't know very well and they are much older than you have to say vous to them. You can't say tu. It's a matter of disrespect. So an acquaintance or someone you do not know that is older than you, okay? Older than you. So if you are talking to, like, if you go to a restaurant and you're talking to the server, it's one person, but you don't know them. So you can't say tu to them. You have to say vous, okay? All right? So you would say s'il vous plaît to them. Or if you want to say, "Could you bring me more water, please," to the server, you would have to say vous to them. Okay. Another type of person would be a distant relative. So if you have an aunt or an uncle who lives in Colombia or Russia and you've never met them before and you've never talked to them on Skype before, but then one day they come to the United States and you meet them for the first time, you would start out by saying vous to that one person because there's someone you don't really know yet, and it's a matter of respect. Another one would be any adult that is not your relative, like your mom or your dad. And this kind of goes in hand with someone who is an authority figure. Okay, for example, a teacher, or your boss, or the president, okay, or a police officer. Any of these people, you would have to say vous to them. So technically, if a student was talking to a teacher, like if you were talking to me, you would say vous to me. Now, in our situation, I'm not going to require that you say vous to me. Like if you wanted to say, Madame, do you play soccer? You don't have to say, Madame, vous jouez au foot? You can say tu to me. You can say, Madame, tu joues au foot? Just because of our relationship and we're in the United States and we're just learning French, you can use tu or vous, okay? I do have a lot of French 5 students who, when they talk to me, they do address me as vous because they've learned so much French and they want to pretend like we are in an actual France situation, and that's what you would actually do if you were in France. You would say vous to your teacher. So kind of keep that in mind. Now we know there's 2 things that we need to think about. Tu is for one person. Vous is for talking to a whole group of people. And then also, vous is used to talk to one person when they are older than you, an adult, someone you don't know, or someone who's an authority figure, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? I just want you to know that, because when we start reading things and listening to things and practicing things, we may switch to vous sometimes for one person, and this is why right here, okay? All right, make sure you have these notes down and then do your practice activities for grammar. Email me if you have questions. Au revoir.